August is here, and we're approaching the period of time where we see an increase typically in tropical cyclone activity. This is a 10-day tropical outlook. We're going to look at the current situation with the remnants of Dorian and the forecast over the next 10 days for the tropical Atlantic. We've already had 4 named storms. Typically, we don't get our 4th named storm until the 3rd week of August, so that is a bit unusual to already have 4. Of course, we've been forecasting a busy season. We haven't had a hurricane yet. That's something that's not that unusual. The first hurricane on average forms the 2nd week of August in the Atlantic Basin. I want to take you back 3 days. This is Monday. Very nice representation on satellite of Dorian, but it, of course, dissipated, tried to make a comeback Monday, and then fell apart because of upper-level conditions becoming less favorable for tropical cyclone development or maturation. The remnants of this system, though, still very apparent with some thunderstorms in the Bahamas, and I'm going to track that moisture, that dotted line. It gets very close to South Florida Friday into Saturday, never officially comes ashore. Then it gets picked up by an upper-level trough of low pressure, and it'll be pushed out to sea. There'll be a notable difference this weekend from North Florida to South Florida. South Florida's in the juice and the moisture. North Florida starts to dry out just a bit because of that upper trough swinging through. Rainfall will be heaviest, of course, where the remnants of Dorian will be closest, and that's along the Atlantic coast on the east side for South Florida, from Melbourne to West Palm to Miami. 1 to 3 inches of rain possible in a general sense. Lighter rains for North Florida, and that's just typical afternoon stuff Saturday and Sunday. So my tropical outlook includes some heavy rain and gusty winds, especially between Miami and the Bahamas Friday into Saturday. The rest of the tropical Atlantic will likely be quiet through at least the 5th or the 6th. All right, a couple things going on here. First of all, we've had a dust storm in Africa. Back on July 30th, NASA captured this image. You can see the dust moving off the coast of Africa. When you have large areas of dust or sand in the air, it keeps tropical cyclones from forming. It also cools the water temperatures. And this is a image from NOAA. Everything you see here in yellow and red, this entire area is a very large area of Saharan air, all right, or dust. And you can see it on the satellite picture as well. There's the west coast of Africa. Here are the Leeward Islands. So very large area of dust in the atmosphere, and that is why water temperatures have cooled just a bit in the eastern Atlantic. We also had a pattern for much of July that has kept tropical cyclone development from occurring out here in the deep tropics because of high pressure. The Bermuda high has been a bit unusually strong and displaced to the south, and that's been really kicking up the winds out of the east and northeast, cooling the water and bringing in that dry air. The pattern's going to shift a bit around the 8th or 9th of the month. That high is going to weaken a bit and move a little further to the north, so conditions become slightly more favorable, just a slight change in the pattern here for the 2nd week of August. So that's when we're really going to start to watch those waves coming off the west coast of Africa. Typically in August, storms could form anywhere. Your origin points dating back to 1969, no real pattern, and typical storm motion, all land areas in the Caribbean and the Atlantic and the Gulf are, of course, vulnerable to a tropical system as we approach the peak of the season, which is early September. Stay tuned.